I was stuck. Not just in a physical sense, but emotionally, mentally, caught in a loop that felt impossible to break. Every day seemed to blend into the next, a blur of sameness that left me feeling hollow. Life felt like a treadmill I couldn't get off, work, bills, and a sense of being invisible. I was surrounded by people, yet I felt completely alone, like a ghost drifting through the noise of the city. I didn't want fame just to feel like I mattered. I wanted to know that my presence made a difference even in the smallest way. Even small gestures, holding a door, a nod, felt rare, and the ache of loneliness grew. So I started dreaming. I wondered if there was a place where kindness was the norm, not the exception. Late nights I'd search. Countries where men are respected, places with strong community values. I read stories and watched videos, hoping to find somewhere that felt different from the world I knew. I wasn't after power, just balance, a place where being a man was appreciated. I wanted to feel valued for who I was, not just for what I could provide. My research kept pointing to Southeast Asia, stories of smiling faces, respect for elders, and a magical sense of community. It sounded almost too good to be true, but I couldn't ignore the pull. People described how a simple hello could spark a real conversation, how strangers could become friends over a cup of tea or a shared laugh, how sharing a meal was sacred, a time to connect and truly see each other. Meals weren't just about food, they were about belonging, and men were treated with warmth, not suspicion. There was a sense of mutual respect, a feeling that everyone had a place at the table. The idea grew from a what if to I have to do this. It became more than a fantasy. It became a plan, a lifeline. My friends thought I was crazy, moving across the world for a smile. They laughed, but deep down, I knew I needed to take this leap for myself. But it was about what those smiles meant: respect, appreciation, belonging. It was about finding a place where I could finally feel at home. I packed a suitcase, sold what I didn't need, and bought a one-way ticket. Every step felt surreal, but also right. Terrified, but for the first time in years, I was excited. The fear was real, but so was the hope. I was on a quest for happiness. I wanted to discover if a place existed where I could truly belong, where I could be myself without apology. I needed to see if a place like that truly existed. I owed it to myself to find out, to chase the possibility of connection. It wasn't about escaping, but about finding a place where I could feel seen. I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. And so, my journey began. With hope in my heart and uncertainty in my steps, I set out to find the place where I could finally belong. The moment I landed, the air was thick with rain, warm, heavy, and fragrant with the promise of adventure. The city shimmered under the downpour, every surface glistening, as if the world had been freshly washed just for my arrival. The scent of tropical flowers mingled with the irresistible aroma of sizzling street food, drifting through the air and drawing me in. Everywhere I looked, colors popped, vivid blooms, bright umbrellas, and the golden glow of food carts. The airport buzzed with life, but it was a gentle, organized chaos. Travelers weaving around each other, laughter echoing, announcements in unfamiliar languages. It felt both foreign and strangely welcoming. People smiled, real, genuine smiles that reached their eyes, as if they were happy to see a stranger in their midst. It was a warmth I hadn't realized I'd been missing. My shoulders dropped. The tension I'd carried for months started to melt away, replaced by a sense of possibility. I could feel myself beginning to breathe easier. My first real interaction was with a taxi driver, an older man with kind eyes who greeted me with a bow and a warm "Sawadee krap." His gentle manner instantly put me at ease. He asked about my journey, pointed out temples and shrines as we passed, and called me sir with genuine respect. He even shared a few words about his family, making me feel less like a tourist and more like a welcomed guest. I wasn't just a fare, I was a guest. And that feeling lingered long after I left his cab. The city was alive, scooters weaving through traffic, vendors calling out their specials, the scent of grilled meats and spices everywhere. It was a sensory overload, but in the best possible way. What struck me most was the sense of community, people laughing, sharing food, neighbors chatting as if they'd known each other forever. There was a rhythm to daily life here that felt comforting and familiar, even though I was thousands of miles from home. It felt like stepping into a movie about the good old days, where everyone looked out for each other and life moved at its own pace. My landlord, Mrs. Pym, greeted me at the door with a tray of snacks and an invitation to dinner. Her hospitality was immediate and heartfelt, making me feel at home from the very first moment. She made it clear, if I needed anything, just ask. There was no hesitation, only kindness and a genuine desire to help. Standing in my new apartment, looking out at the lively street below, I felt a wave of emotion. The city's energy pulsed through the window, promising new experiences and friendships. In just a few hours, I'd been shown more kindness and warmth than I'd felt in years. It was overwhelming in the best way. I knew deep down I'd made the right choice coming here. This was the fresh start I'd been searching for. I challenged myself. Could I live well on just $500 for an entire month in Southeast Asia? It sounded almost impossible, but I was determined to find out. I wanted to see how far my money could really stretch, and whether I could enjoy life without constantly worrying about expenses. Back home, that wouldn't even cover a week's groceries, let alone rent or transportation. The cost of living always felt like a heavy weight, making it hard to truly relax or enjoy the little things. But here I found a clean, comfortable studio apartment for just $150 a month. My own private sanctuary with enough space to unwind after a day of exploring. Street food quickly became my go-to. Each morning started with a bowl of warm rice porridge, and for lunch, I'd grab a spicy stir-fry from a bustling vendor. Dinner was always an adventure at the night markets, sampling new dishes, meeting locals, and feasting for just a few dollars a day. My total food budget? About $150 for the entire month. And I never felt deprived. In fact, I ate better and more adventurously than I ever did back home. With rent and food covered, I still had $200 left for everything else, more than enough to make the most of my time here. I rented a scooter for $60, which gave me the freedom to explore temples, riverside cafes, and hidden gems far beyond the tourist trail. I even joined a Muay Thai gym for $40 a month. An amazing way to stay fit, learn something new, and meet fellow travelers and locals alike. Thai massages, laundry service, and the occasional grab ride became small luxuries I could actually afford, adding comfort and convenience to my daily routine. By the end of the month, I realized I hadn't just survived. I truly thrived, living a life that felt both rich and fulfilling. I had a comfortable home, ate delicious food, explored new places, made friends, and even pampered myself with experiences I'd never try back home. The experiment was a resounding success, far exceeding my expectations. I discovered how little it actually takes to live well here, and how much joy can come from simplicity and new experiences. The quality of life was higher, even on a modest budget. It was a revelation, and it changed the way I think about what I truly need to be happy. Here, being valued wasn't about grand gestures, it was in the everyday moments. At the market, an elderly woman helped me with the currency, added a mango to my bag as a welcome gift, and smiled. In family-run restaurants, owners would sit and chat, treating me as a guest, not just a customer. These small acts made me feel connected, part of the community. One day my scooter got a flat. 2 local men stopped, called a mechanic, and waited with me, refusing any payment. They just smiled, patted my shoulder, and went on their way. These experiences chipped away at my old feelings of invisibility. I felt seen and appreciated. Respect was woven into daily life. Shopkeepers greeted me warmly. Strangers offered help without hesitation. It wasn't because I was foreign, it was just the culture. As a man, that respect felt like a supportive hand, encouraging me forward. It was the emotional nourishment I'd been missing. I realized how powerful small gestures could be. They made all the difference. Living here changed me from the inside out. The anxiety I'd carried for years began to fade. I walked taller, smiled first, and knew my smile would be returned. My self-worth was rebuilt on genuine connection, not job titles or money. Making friends was easy. Neighbors, coffee vendors, gym buddies became close companions. We trained, ate, and laughed together, united by openness and shared experiences. Kindness inspired me to give back, helping with groceries, playing with kids, learning the language. The respect I received made me want to be more respectable. My happiness became about contributing to the community's warmth. The real treasure wasn't money saved, but confidence, peace, and friendship gained. I learned a man's worth is in his character and connections. Here, I rediscovered myself. I wasn't just existing, I was truly living. My heart felt full for the first time in years. Comparing costs, it's like 2 different worlds. Back home, my salary vanished on rent, car payments, and expensive nights out. Financial stress was constant, overshadowing everything. Here, my budget is less than what I spent on my car alone. Yet my quality of life has soared. More free time, healthier food, simple pleasures like massages or beach trips. The freedom from money worries is the greatest luxury. Of course, I miss family and old friends and sometimes the convenience of home. But a walk through my neighborhood, a warm greeting, or a sunset quickly eases homesickness. The trade-off is worth it. I don't miss the pressure, competition, or isolation. Here, simple joys are the main event. Life is slower, simpler, and infinitely richer. I finally feel at peace. If you feel undervalued or overlooked, know you're not alone and you don't have to accept it. Start dreaming, then make a plan. You don't have to move tomorrow, start small. Research places that value community and respect. The world is huge. There's a corner that will feel like home. Don't let fear hold you back. The risk of staying unhappy is greater than the risk of change. Save a small adventure fund, even just $500. Look beyond tourist spots. Find out about local values and community. Be open-minded. Your happiest place might surprise you. No place is perfect, but you can find one where life feels right. Give yourself permission to prioritize happiness. Life's too short to just tough it out. You deserve to feel respected and cherished. Taking a leap for a better life isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Your well-being matters. You matter. There's a place out there that will celebrate you. Looking back, the word is rebirth. I left home feeling faded and worn down. Now I live in vibrant color. This country isn't perfect, but the people make all the difference. Kindness and respect have healed me. Home isn't a place, it's a feeling of acceptance and belonging. It's being greeted with a smile, sharing a laugh with a neighbor. I found home not in an apartment, but in a community that welcomed me. I feel truly appreciated as a man and as a person. Wealth isn't about money. I'm richer in experiences, friendships, and peace of mind. Joy is in the smallest things, a ripe mango, children's laughter, a warm breeze. This adventure wasn't about escape, but about finding a new life. I don't know what the future holds, but I'll never go back to feeling invisible. I won't accept a life without warmth and connection. I now know it's possible to feel valued every day. That's a treasure worth traveling for. That's my story, a guy who was lost, searching for a place to feel found. I hope sharing it brings you some light and warmth. This isn't just about me, it's about the universal need to be seen and valued. If my story sparked something in you, I'd be grateful for your support. Like, subscribe, share. Every click helps spread hope and kindness. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Now, where will you go to find your happiness? What small step can you take today? Your joy-filled life is out there. Be brave and go find it. I'll be here cheering you on. Thank you.